Hello there guys, it's Joey. So this is going to be a working witch and I'm going to be creating Celtic moon sand, which is something of my own devising, and I will talk all about that and why I've devised it and so on and so forth in a moment. So the Working Witch series and the I Can't Witch Without series have kind of fallen to the wayside with regards to my health and surgery. So I was feeling pretty poorly before I had the surgery, and obviously it's been fairly uncomfortable since. It's still not great, so I'm still not 100%, which means my brain isn't working 100%, but I'm gonna try and do this video anyway because I'm making the Celtic moon sand for myself, and I thought, well, I can record what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and pop it up on the channel. I was originally going to actually just take pictures and put it on the Facebook page. So if you're looking for more spell stuff and crystal stuff and things of that nature, I tend to put that on the Starry Eyed Facebook page, www.facebook.com/Starry-Eyed Supplies, which is not just about the store. There is art there. See, this is what I'm talking about. There are articles. There are crystal grids, both mine and other people's, that are shared on there. Some of the articles are in fact mine as well. Share other people's articles and things of interest. We have Friday meditation music. We share spells. We share poetry. It's not just about the store on the Facebook page, so please go check it out. There is more to see on the Facebook page. So, Celtic moon sand. What on earth is Celtic moon sand, Joey? Well, it's something of my own devising. As far as I'm aware, I've never heard of it anywhere. And the premise is to take sand, and it has to be ocean-based sand. And I was gifted some sand from the beautiful Nadia. And generally speaking, people using sand are creating a barrier powder. Yeah, probably a barrier powder. And I was sat here thinking about utilising it in a powder and creating a moon-based moon sand by incorporating 3 tree energies, Ogham energies, with the sand that tied together the magic of trees, the magic of the moon, and the magic of the ocean. We all know that the ocean has a deep connection to the moon through the tides, so there is a physical tie there. There's also a deep spiritual tie there. There is so much art with the moon over water, and it's about emotions and depth and mystery. The moon in modern pagan subconscious represents the goddess, and water is considered a feminine element for the most part. And it's ever shifting, ever changing. There's that element of what it means to shift, to change. The moon is constantly changing in her cycles, and we as witches work our spells, work our magic by moon phase. And the bowl you are looking at has a triple goddess, triple moon phase symbol within it, which is very purposeful. Obviously, everything I do interweaves when creating magic. It's purposeful. So we're creating a powder which is about personal transformation, personal change, personal shift. You can use it in honouring the goddess, honouring the moon goddesses in particular if you so wish, but I want it as a sort of shifting, shape-shifting goddess energy, and that should be obvious to all involved who have any idea about the Morrigan, because she is a shapeshifter above all else. And sometimes looking at my hair and eyes, I wonder if I'm not a bit of a shapeshifter myself, to be honest. And it's that connection to Mama Morrigan, which some people aren't going to see, that she has an aspect of healing and transformation to her. And, you know, people automatically feel it has to go to that kind of dark place, that death element, just to get any kind of rebirth. But she's a mistress of magic. And each energy within this is about shifting consciousness. Sand shifts, sand moves. It moves with the ocean, it moves with the tides. The moon shifts. These energies transform us when we integrate them into our magical practice. So the 3 Ogham that I've decided to incorporate into this particular spell work are as this. Firstly, we're going to have Sail, or Willow. Willow is actually ruled by the moon, so it's the obvious choice. The reason for incorporating Ogham tree magic into the sand, which, let's face it, you don't have to do. You could pick herbs, flowers that were ruled by the moon, and that would integrate the energies absolutely beautifully. But for me, I am an Ogham fanatic. I love the energies of trees. Nothing to me is more synonymous with deep-rooted spirituality in my mind than trees. They are magnificent. They are the guardians of this world. They are creators of life. They have the branches in the sky and the roots in the earth. And they just sort of transcend. And the language of the Ogham has brought me more spiritual bliss than any other divination method, probably. Yeah, I would probably say so. I adore them, and because it so deeply connects with my spirituality, I'm going to use that. Plus, you can make arguments for sand being of earth and of water, and therefore you can make arguments for trees being of earth and of water, because they pull up water through the earth. So that's the kind of intermingling of earth and water here in all things. So Willow is a healer, but she's very much about dreams, visions, seership, intuition. You can heal with Willow. I tend to do a lot of healing with Willow. It's a very nurturing energy. Particularly emotional nurturing. Anything to do with emotions and emotional balance and dealing with our emotions instead of blocking them, Willow is absolutely fantastic. So the second one I chose was Bieth, or Silver Birch. Silver Birch has a purification element which is very present, particularly in the snow moon, which is the moon that we are about to engage with. New beginnings, new starts, transformation, birth. Overcoming fear of the unknown, which has been a real stickler, I guess, on the channel recently. It's what I'm looking at and embracing and figuring out and dealing with. And change, seeking to be the best version of myself that I can be, and I want that change energy within transformation Celtic Moon Sand, because it's all about personal transformation, creating change. You can use this as a protective barrier powder as well, of course, and it means that you are creating a ritual space for change and not allowing negative outside influences to negatively impact that change. And lastly, we went with Elder, which is considered by many to be the Ogham of the goddess, and is definitely an Ogham of transformation, renewal and regeneration, rebirth. You can make arguments for this being birth and then a life and then a rebirth energy for these three. I didn't choose them for that purpose. I chose them on intuitively on how I felt I wanted this energy to go, the combination of things that I wanted within. And I will also be placing a rainbow moonstone within the bowl, and I will be covering and mixing slightly as we go forth. Now I'm going to be using different parts of the particular trees, and I think it really is up to you. If you want leaf from each of them and just leaf from each of them, I can completely understand that. I'm going to mix it up a little bit because I want to. So I have some sand. I'm going to be using my wooden spoons, which my soul sister Sharon gifted me, and I love them for just measuring out certain things. So we shall go in a clockwise direction for increase. Change, positivity, renewal, transformation. And we did 3. 3 being a number of divine importance within the Druidic path, meaning the cycles of life, death and rebirth. So then I'm going to add some silver birch leaf. I'm actually going to add the leaf with my hands, just to be inconsistent. So I can't tell you why I felt that I wanted to place the sand in individually. Perhaps because I want the sand to be the base and I want my energies to start off being in the tree. I will get my hands in and work my energy in to the moon sand off camera, and I'll talk a little bit about imbuing things as well, but I'm not going to be videoing that because that's personal. But I think it's because of the base. The base, I just want the sand to be in its raw base form to start with. It's absorbing the rainbow moonstone energies, synonymous obviously with change, feminine energy and the moon. So I'm going to just focus on what I want the silver birch to do. At this point you can call upon the spirits of the individual plant or tree or herb, depending on what you're using, and petition the particular energy of the particular tree and bless each ingredient as it's going in. So for example, tree of silver birch, tree of the earth, I call upon your wisdom and your power. I call upon your magic. I call upon the purification energies within. I call upon the energies of the great goddess that flows within the silver birch. Help me in this hour. So there you go. Something along those lines, which is just from my intuition. So you can put bark in. I'm not going to actually put any silver birch bark in. I don't feel that I want silver birch bark in. I don't know what I... And then I'm going to put a little bit of willow leaf. Again, clockwise. And I'm going to put a little tiny little bit of willow bark, just a very tiny small amount of willow bark in there. And then you might call upon the energies of willow. I call upon the energies of the tree willow, the Oghams sail, she of transformation, she of deep emotional bonds, she who will tie the water to the earth within this moon sand, she who lends her aid in all matters of emotion, she who will help transform me from lesser to more. Hail to the energies of Willow. Then I'm going to put a couple of elderberries in. I'm going to put a couple of elderflowers in. And then some elder leaf. So there is leaf from all, but there is slightly more willow than there is silver birch, and there is slightly more elder than there is willow, and that's because the focus of the moon sand is rebirth, is transformation. And then you call upon the energies and the blessings of the energy of the elder Ogham, of Rui, of the tree. You could say something along the lines of, I call upon the energies and spirits of the great tree of Rui, of elder, she of transformation, of the end cycles, she that calls to me of rebirth, and not to be afraid, when entering into the void to be reborn, for all things will be greater than they were before. Hail. So, just move out the rainbow moonstone. Now you're going to get your hands in. You're gonna mix it all together. You're gonna get your energy in. And you're going to be focusing on what you want to happen. You may wish to place some more sand in, and if you want a little bit more sand than you want your other energies, then you would probably go for 9 spoonfuls rather than 6. And you are focusing on your intention now, and you're placing your energy into the moon sand. You can focus on something even as simple as imagining that this, in the center right here, is the moon, and imagine it glowing bright and white and beautiful, and filling that energy in. You can also put it out on your altar to imbue under the full moon. You can draw down the energies of the moon into the moon powder, the moon sand. You can visualize the energies of each tree working through. You can imagine roots or branches. Branches is probably the easiest to envision growing through. So you can imagine your willow branch growing through, your silver birch branch growing through, and then your elder branch. This is why I wait normally until I'm completely recovered. Your elder branch growing through, and that gives a beautiful representation between earth and water. If you wanted, you could add other bits and pieces to your particular moon sand. If you're not working with the trees, you can add whatever you want, really. It's about where your preference lies, where your energy lies, and what works best for you. Me personally, I adore the Ogham, I adore tree energy, and I want those trees present while I create a moon sand, which is going to be used for personal transformation, for manifesting the change that I want in my life, and being willing to engage with that change and be the best version that I can be of me. So for now, I'm just going to place my rainbow moonstone in the center there. I'm going to leave it imbuing till tonight. I'm going to draw some moon energy down into it, and then I can use it in my magical workings. So I hope you enjoyed this video of Celtic moon sand. Many blessings.